Hi, I'm Deb Dedrick, certified high performance coach, new money story mentor, team beach buddy coach, and your expert guide to leading a happy life. And this is my co-host Nana.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you so much for being here for our tip number 29, how to improve relationships.
Well, keep going.
All right. Well, that is one thing I think is a lifelong journey, is learning the how to have and improve good relationships.
Yes.
And that can be applied, these tips can be applied at work and at home. And if you learn to develop some of these, I think it will dramatically improve the quality of your relationship.
This is what I thought for everybody, in different types of relationships, just not the one kind.
There's lots of different types of
There's
relationships.
a lot of them, yes.
Well, if you had to define different relationships in your life that meant a lot to you, where would you start? Other than the obvious, which would be your loved family. Is there any other ones?
Oh, your friends too. And I don't think there's anybody that I don't really care for that I can think of.
Well, you've been a very good role model for that.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
But you have.
But it seems like to me, there should be some good in everybody.
Well, and you model the number one tip that we're going to start with. And what is that? It's learning to lead all your interaction with others with kindness.
Yes.
And I think that's so vitally important because it sets the frame for how the interaction will go.
Yeah, you're right on that one.
Because people can sense how people are feeling.
Well, of course they can.
There's this book called Blink by Malcolm, whatever his name is, Malcolm Caldwell. Anyway, whatever his name is, It's called Blink.
Blink, yes, that's the main thing.
Blink, and people will judge you in a blink moment. And I'll look that up later, what his name was. But the whole premise is people judge in a blink minute or second. It's just like seconds.
Yes.
And I
in a flash.
I don't agree with that. I don't think it's right. Because
No, you should give them a chance. Just give them a chance.
Well, that brings us to tip number 2. When you are leading with kindness and not allowing yourself to judge in a blink moment, you learn to recognize, like Nana says, we're all unique.
Oh, yes.
And our life's journeys, no one is the same, right? No experience that you've had, I would have had, I would have thought it through the same way as you.
Mm-hmm.
I like this one analogy I heard recently that the way you see red isn't maybe the way
that
see
is true.
red.
That is definitely true, yes.
The way you view your day and what success looks like for you might not be.
Not the same for you, yes.
And learning to recognize that everybody, because of these different life experiences, is going to have different ways of having opinions and what do you think about that?
Well, there again, when I came over here a long time ago, people thought I was crazy. But I didn't think at that time that I was crazy, and I did just what I wanted to do. I did it, and fortunately, everything worked out fine.
But reflecting back, and I've heard you say this, when you think back about that journey, what are the 2 things involving kindness on that journey that stand out in your mind and the way somebody treated you?
Well, when I first came over here, as I've said before, I'm the Queen Mary, the real Queen Mary. Everybody was so kind, and it was a big journey for me.
And how old were you?
20.
20. That's amazing.
Too young. But then again.
But how did the people treat you? What happened? Because I've heard you tell me these stories.
They treated me very well. And on the ship, everybody was kind. And it took a long time to come over here on the boat. And then when I came to Bluffton, which I was expecting to be a big town from what I came from, it was just small.
Oh.
Of course, then in England, we used to call a city had a cathedral.
Oh, man. I don't think people realize.
No, it was just so different. But everybody was nice to me. And that's what I have to say. grandmother, and their little church was so nice to me, so nice to me.
And remember that one guy? Remember there was some guy that helped you.
Oh,
Remember
yes.
him? And he was on the ship.
He was on the ship, yes. And I remember he said he was from Texas. And I didn't know about Texas. And I said, is that another place? And he said, yes, it certainly is another place, you know. And he was very nice. And the steward that took care of me in my cabin, he said, finally insisted that he made my bed and everything. He said, please, I'm here for me to do that, not for you. And I said, well, I'm just helping out. And but that was in those days too. Things have changed quite a lot since then.
Sadly, in our world today, we don't seem to recognize the uniqueness of others. And I see a lot of rush to judge. And
Yes, yeah.
the third thing to improve your relationship is learning to listen, really actively listen. I find it very, I don't know what the word is, what I'm trying to say here, but learning to listen to other people in your relationships at work and at home without interrupting,
Yes.
without telling them what you think and how you're going to handle it, what not to do, learning to just listen for the sake of listening. It's so nice when I come across people that will listen to me without trying to tell me what to do. If you want to improve your relationships, stop interrupting the people that you're talking to.
Try.
Stop.
Yes.
Don't try, because try means you aren't going to do.
Well.
Stop. Catch yourself. Stop always trying to interject what you would
What
do.
you would do, yes.
Stop trying to redirect the conversation to it's about you.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to criticize and give advice. Learn to actively listen, and you will be astonished how quickly you'll be improving your
Improving
relationship.
yourself, yes, yeah.
But people will seek you out, because in our world, people need somebody to talk to where they are actively listened to so they can vent what they're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of, it's the power of the spoken word. Sometimes people are able to figure out how they're feeling just by talking. They can hear it.
Yes.
And they don't need you to
be
give
telling
guidance.
them.
That was a really powerful thing that I started incorporating in my life. And like you said, Nana, you're right. You're going to have to try to practice this. It's a skill set.
Definitely.
It's a whole new way of interacting, but I guarantee you it will improve the quality of your relationship.
Yes.
And fourth, remember to think through life and think through what's important in life. And remember what's the most important thing in life?
Oh, to me is my family. Oh, I just love them, and my grandchildren. Oh, yeah.
It's
Oh,
our
of course, my
relationship.
husband. Can't forget him. But, my grandkids, I just love them. And they love me too.
Well, of course they do.
And that's nice, because some people don't have that.
And that's right. That's being grateful for what we have.
Yes.
I start every morning before I even get out of bed, rehearsing in my mind or reminiscing in my mind what I'm grateful for.
Yes.
And I always start with my family.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking through what's truly important in it's our relationships.
Yes.
And most importantly, I want you to reflect on this. It's the relationship that you have with yourself.
Oh, yes. You'd have to have that.
Don't you feel, Nana, that if you're not good to yourself and you don't have confidence in yourself or your abilities, that will hold you back from having the best type of relationships that you need.
I think you're right on that one. Yes.
And improving the relationship that you have with yourself by, treating yourself with kindness,
Mm-hmm.
learning to recognize your own uniqueness and giving yourself credit for that.
Right.
Learning to listen to your inner voice of intuition. And remember to think through in the relationships that you choose in your life,
Mm-hmm.
to pick the ones that serve you and don't hurt you.
Yes.
So we hope our tips help you. We hope they...
Oh, I hope so.
It's
Yes.
our mission as your expert guides to leading a happy life to give you the tips, tools, and strategies that you can use in your life and apply that will help you create a happier life. And until our next tip, go out in the world and be a positive role model and influencer for change. And we wish you the best and God bless. Any parting words?
No, just God bless everybody. That's the way I feel.
All right. And bye-bye.